I told Pam we got to make LA a character. Like, I'm joking. So it was totally Pam. It was Pamela who
Thank
insisted.
you. Thank you very
It was
much.
Pamela, yeah, yeah. It was Pamela that insisted that we use real locations and we kind of make LA more of a character. It was really her idea to do that, and it's a great idea. It's a really great idea. So I give her that credit for sure. And I think it. I didn't realize it at the time as we were writing it, but when we were done, it really felt like an LA book. It felt very LA. And everybody who's read it picks up on that, even when they made the cover and everything. And I fully embrace that now. I think it's kind of cool that LA is a character in it. Um, and uh and we continue that in the second book, even more so.
My goal was to, I mean, I think a good book has, you got to have conflict, right? So I wanted, they sort of play off each other a lot. They disagree a lot, but then they're there for each other when the time comes, when you need somebody to have your back. It's clear that that's going to happen. So I enjoyed creating that kind of thing. And Dwayne did, when we decided we were going to write, Dwayne did the entire outline, and so he did the whole outline, and then he would write a chapter from Jackson's POV, send it to me. I would write Mackenzie's chapter and send it back, and we went back and forth, back and forth. And there were often times when my vision of what he had outlined didn't fit what he had outlined. So it took him a little bit to understand that I was going to bring my piece to it, and I think it all worked out. I mean, I think we're both very happy with both. Sounds like a plan, and the second book sounds like trouble.
First of all, with both books, with the first book especially, I wanted it to be fun. I wanted it to be a fun adventure kind of thing, like the banter and just everything that happens. I wanted to be fun. So in the second book, so what the second book is about? Okay, so as a writer, I collect ideas that sometimes I don't know what I'm gonna do with the idea. I just have a whole collection of ideas. And one idea I've always had was, how in movies the old trope is like if somebody does something against a gangster and he tells the gangster, well, if anything happens to me, I got these files hidden somewhere, and if something happens to me, those files are going to go straight to the police. So I'm thinking it'd be cool to create a plot where the gangster wants to get his hands on those files. So that's kind of what the book's about. There's these gangsters and there's this kind of weaselly accountant guy who has a file on them, and these gangsters hire Mackenzie and Jackson to find that file. And it's an offer they can't refuse, because if they don't get it done, they're gonna be in trouble also. When she said I plotted the book, when I plotted the book, I plotted, like I said, I plot very detailed. So I had every chapter figured out. You know, I don't do it on a whiteboard or anything. I just kind of sit at my computer and I just kind of I do a really quick sketch of the story, and then I keep going back over it and over it and over it. And every time I go over it, I do a pass and I add more detail, add more detail, add more detail, to a point where I say, okay, this is what it is. So when Pamela said that she would take the outline and then she would change stuff, you can just understand that I work really hard to make it all kind of click together. So when she goes and she changes something, of course I'm gonna have a reaction like, wait a minute, what are you doing? This is like, it's a carefully constructed plot. But I will say to her credit that the stuff that she changed, it it worked with the plot. So honestly, it doesn't bother me that much as long as it all kind of still clicks together.
The fun part of the whole process of writing a book is to get inside your characters' heads. And people who don't write don't really understand that, but it's real. I guess getting in the character's head and really seeing her, or seeing how she's going to react to her mother or her brother, and feeling that as I'm writing. I struggle with characters' physical descriptions a lot. I hate writing that. I love writing dialogue. If I could just be is it Elmer Leonard who does all like heavy dialogue? The writers, I like just dialogue, but you need description as well. And when I'm in the grocery store, a lot of times I take the longest line because I want to spend some time looking at
Hmm.
people and see, or maybe somebody's like rubbing their neck or some glitch that you can give a character. Um, so I like doing that, or if I'm doing something, I say, oh, that's something. If I hear something, if I say something, oh, that's something that Mackenzie might say. And I have a file in my phone. I just have a story. It's called story ideas or quotes, and I'll just jot down what that was, and I'll keep it because I know that 30 minutes later I will not remember it.
Jackson is so real to me. It's like it's almost like I think he's like a real person. Like I can call on the phone right now. I can channel him like perfect. I could, I can play that character. I mean, I'm not an actor, but I mean, I just understand him so completely. Like it's effortless for me to write his dialogue and to, it just because he's that alive to me. He's that, and that helps, because it makes the character three-dimensional on the page. And what's great about the character Mackenzie and the Jackson characters is that they kind of know each other. So you kind of feel that between them. It's like the great acting duos of classic films and stuff. They kind of bounce off each other really well, and they both kind of know how each other think and stuff. You feel that. I know I'm talking about my own book, but you kind of feel that in the pages, how the characters banter back and forth. And I think that really makes the books fun.
We just did it on our own. I mean, like once he sends me a chapter, and a lot of times the chapters would the scene would continue in my POV, and we just pick it up and run with it. I think that it helped that our writing styles are pretty similar. We both write commercial fiction, and I think we both find writing dialogue pretty easy. And I think and I think the book feels pretty seamless in that regard. But we never, went over the same chapter. I mean, when we're all done, then we both read the whole thing, and we both make changes to each other's portions. But the creation process was kind of a solo effort.
We look at each other's chapters, and if like Jackson says something in her chapter that I don't think Jackson would say, I would say, I don't think Jackson would say it like that. Or she might say that to me, like, I don't think Mackenzie would do it, So some of that, a little bit of that.